WF representing Palace, so let's tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top flight journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything earned for a goal of elevation, just passing the team over here might finish like bright future, we can't vanish. SE25 any day, that's sellers. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions, fan cams, bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
Yes, guys, welcome back to Eagle Eyed Football, and welcome back to another preview for another week where we got 3 games. We said it's all done, and guess what? The next week is back again. It's back again. Stressful times, but we are here. We're here to do exactly what we need to do. Today is the preview, and as always, I am joined here with Mr. Misinformation Man Dan. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll try not to spread any fake news today. Can't guarantee it though. Sorry.
Joined here also with. Aye, who's done that?
Who's an echo?
It's him. Look. If I mute him, it's all gone. Yeah, bro. Mute yourself. Anyway, I am also joined here, apart from Dan, with the WWE EEF champion himself. Where's the belt? There it is. Ooh, jeez. How's it going?
I'm knackered. I'm so tired. Oh, I did a Monday Night Raw stream. I'm not doing that again. That was long. Oh dear. But no, I'm good. Ready. I'm ready for football.
Mm-hmm. Maybe because I thought that the review of it was quite cool. So maybe if you do the reviews instead of the watch-alongs, maybe then you can do it.
Yeah,
there's
gonna be some special streams for like big events. So Royal Rumble in February, 2nd of February. That will be live on Eagle Eyed Extra. Yeah, and we've got Rich and Nate will be joining me for predictions on that. I'll be defending my title. This is on the line. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you're going to ship it all the way to Ireland if you lose? I don't think that's the case.
Because he ain't winning. He ain't winning.
Finally, I am joined here with Lee.
He's still echoing.
Just quickly, I'm going to sort out Jack because Jack's a Leicester guest. I'm going to sort him out and then I'll just sign in with my phone. So I'll see you in a minute.
All
right, cool.
Also, I leave them. Also, Hugh has said it here himself. 2,400 subscribers now, guys. Thank you very, very much. I didn't think we were going to get this far, but we did. I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing. What else is there to say, really? Big up you guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate all the support over the years now that we've done this. Years plural.
I was saying that to Rich before the Stockport game. It's years now.
It's too long.
She said, pause.
Oh,
first one of the year.
There we go.
Fair enough. I'm actually curious now. When was the first Eagle Eyed Football video uploaded that all of us were a part of? And when I say all of us, I mean like me, Rich, and Nate, as in the first few people, and before
the OGs
stragglers started coming in like Dan and Nicky. Let me have a look. Quick one.
We'll just leave then. Okay.
I would tell you, but it'll probably be misinformation.
Yeah, if it's coming from you, 100%. Okay, so it was August 20, 2021. I didn't think it was that long.
Wow.
I really didn't think it was that long, but it is. Pause.
Amazing.
That's a very good pause. I just thought I'd let you guys know that. Big up Chairman, big up the dog. Do me a favor and watch Malcolm's assist for Mola's goal. So happy I can watch him in the 21.
Good assist.
Dog, have you Jay, question, right? Do you have a poster of Ebue in your?
Do you think anyone makes a poster of Ebue? That's my question.
It must exist. Like you can just get a picture and
Yeah,
or maybe maybe like a framed picture.
one that's not AI. Ree is saying fraud. Big up Jordan LFC. Big up UK Pat. So big up the goat Nicky, the guy who looked like he needs a DD
I need to go on
Sunday.
Sunday. Yep, I need to hurry off.
I think the comments have repeated themselves. Yeah, they have. All right, let's get straight into this. They sacked their manager Steve Cooper, probably rightly so, because they weren't doing too well in the league. You know, they were sort of slipping away, not really creating much in the games. But then they go and pull the trigger on someone like Van Nistelrooy. Dan, do you think that was a bit of an ambitious signing for them as a manager?
I don't think it was. It depends how you look at this, right? And I'm going to look at this over, say, 2 or 3 seasons, like a project, let's say. In that sense, I think he's a decent manager. Like, he did well with PSV, briefly did well with Man United as well when they were in the middle of a bit of chaos. However, I do think him being made the manager is probably what will send them down this season. But that said, I do think that they'll go down to the Championship. I think they'll regroup with him, and I think they'll develop their play more. They'll potentially have maybe better, maybe more players suited to that kind of play, and then he'll get a full season in the Premier League the season after. I think that would be like the plan for bringing him in. So maybe it's a bit of a longer term one rather than one that, it's a firefighter manager that will keep him up sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Nicky, you in agreement or do you have a different opinion?
I think it shows a bit of ambition in Leicester. As Dan said, they're looking more down the long road rather than short term. I think going off of his success, or how I think he only had like less than a handful of games in charge of Man United when Ten Hag got sacked. They can obviously see positives in his style of managerial, of tactics and whatnot. Obviously, his success at PSV helps him bump up his CV as well. Yeah, it's a safe move, I think, because I think Leicester are a team that will just get by. They won't be, down at the bottom, but I think they will just about survive, and then Van Nistelrooy can get his first full season, especially with the summer window, bring in some more players.
100%. Jack, welcome. You are the Leicester fan of the stream today.
Hello.
Big up.
Mate.
I think you've been on the stream before, if I do remember correctly.
Yeah, a long while ago.
So, what we've just been talking about, Steve Cooper got sacked, would you say rightly so?
Yeah, should never been appointed Leicester manager in the first place, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. And then do you think that Van Nistelrooy was a good appointment, or do you think it was a little bit too ambitious to bring him into this kind of situation at Leicester?
I think it's a good appointment, to be fair. People would say you're taking a gamble, but then with any manager, no matter what record they've got, it's taking a gamble no matter who you want to bring in. I think, to be fair, Ruud always knew it was going to be tough coming in. Obviously, he couldn't really come in straight away and say, well, I've got a transfer window here. I can actually go and change this team the way I want to. He's had to wait till the January transfer window to do that, and he's had to go with what we've got, with what Steve Cooper brought in, and then what the squad that we had from last season, Paul Dewsbury Hall. So, yeah, it's one of them where, this will defy him as a manager, how good Ruud is with working with the squad that's obviously in the relegation zone at the minute. And if he can get some good players through the door this January transfer window, fantastic. I think we really need to. I think it's about we've got to have that fight now this second half of the season. And I think with Rude, you can clearly see now how good we are in decent performances that we have put in. But the only thing we are lacking is the points to go with it. So I think it will start picking up. I think it's a good appointment. I think it's more long term than short term. We have a vision for him. So yeah, we're just gonna back him, see what happens, and then go from this season into obviously a full season next season. Hopefully, that it's not the case of going down to the championship and doing it, because we'll be in the shit if not.
Do you think that in this transfer window, you guys are going to be active to bring in some players for Van Nistelrooy, or not because of your PSR issues?
Well, Leicester's not going to be charged with PSR, so I think we can safely say the monkey's off our back again. It's twice we've beat the Premier League to that now, where they've tried charging us and then we've got away with it again, even though they've been reporting a lot regarding PSR, with Leicester going over 12 million and this and the other, all these reporters putting all ears saying whatever. So yeah, it's good to it's cleared up now. The club can now kick on. We can now focus on actually bringing quite a few players in. I think defensively is a massive key for Leicester. You can see how many goals we are shipping this season. So Woyo Koulibaly is one that Leicester are very close in getting through the door. Everything's sorted regarding documents and that for him. So me and Rich obviously spoke about that yesterday on my channel. So he'll be one that comes in as a right back, and then obviously Leicester are looking to bring in another winger, a striker, and a left-footed centre back. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting window now. Obviously, it shuts on February the 3rd. So yeah, we've just got to bring in the right players now, and hopefully we stay up. But I think now with the board, they're looking for cheap options, you know, players who are like 6 months out of the contract or with free agents as well. So yeah, I think we can pick a good few players up, but it's got to be the right that fit the formula for Ruud's style of football and, of course, the way the club want to go forward.
Mm-hmm. I think the last question before we jump into the comments again is obviously what happened even before the season started with Chelsea taking your manager. Do you think that if he was your manager throughout this season, you'd be in a completely different situation?
I don't think you can predict the future, can you? It's like
you can't, but but just saying, looking at it now in hindsight, seeing how difficult coming into the Premier League is, do you think he would have made a difference?
I think so. I think he'd have been far better than what Cooper was. It comes to a shock losing him in the fashion that we did. Obviously, he's not going to turn down Chelsea's with triple his wages, but it was also about bringing the right manager in to replace him. So yeah, I think he'd have been better. I think we'd have got a few more better players through the door in the summer. Obviously, PSR was on our back then as well, but I think we ended up spending £60 million, I think it was, in the summer. So yeah, I think we'd have done all right under Enzo, but like I say, you can't predict what's going to happen. You could say we could do well, and then you could say we couldn't. But we know how tough the Premier League is. We can see the gulf now between the Championship and the Premier League with the standards now. So you've got to be fit for purpose to battle in the Premier League, and you've got to get a good enough squad to compete.
Mm-hmm. Rich, how do you think Leicester have done so far this season?
They started off well. They started off well, and by the way, good evening, everyone. Sorry, technical issues as per usual. But I think they started off really well. That draw against Spurs, they drew with us. I think by the time we had won our first game, I'm sure they were probably like 6 or 7 points outside the relegation zone. You know, so I was worried. I was thinking, no, not one of the potential relegation, but they're going clear. You know what I mean? So I even asked Jack yesterday. I was like, "Don't you think Cooper did an okay job, like considering the league position?" But he was telling me, "No, it was bad, and it was the only way it was down." So I am surprised. I think Van Nistelrooy will get it right. The question is, how many games will it take to get it right for him? And what you don't want is to be adrift before things really kick in, because then it gets very difficult.
And to be fair, they didn't do that bad transfer business in the summer either, did they? Because they took probably one of our more key players, let's say. Because I thought that, you know, maybe
Odson Edward.
as Kyle Peters here says, I'm sorry about Edward because of how useless he is. But I was going to say more of the fact of Jordan Ayew. Obviously, we got a good amount of money for him for who he is. But I do think that selfishly, I do feel like we missed him during the start of the season. Because I feel like if we had him, we wouldn't have been in the situation that we were in at the start of the season, because him on his own, he just wins fouls. He's great on the ball. He's almost impossible to take the ball off of. Jack, how has he performed for you so far this season? Because all Palace fans were gutted when we sold him, even though we sold him for a good price.
He's a cool hero for Crystal Palace, wasn't he, Jordan Ayew? 12 years Premier League experience. The guy is a real good hold-up player. He gives 100%, Jordan Ayew. He might not be your regular starter, but he's come off the bench quite a few times this season, and he's earned us 4 points against the winner against Southampton and the draw at Portman Road against Ipswich. So he's got 6 goals so far for Leicester City. So I don't think we'd have expected that as fans at the start. But Jordan Ayew he offers a lot of experience, leadership in the squad. He's been around the Premier League and he's done it. He offers that value and sort of helping the younger players out as well, like your El Canuses, your Buonotes, and that. So pass on that very good thing. But Jordan Ayew, I do prefer him to come on around about the 70th minute. And then he's been more like a super sub this season. Obviously, I can see why Root started him in some games, because you obviously need more experienced players in some of these big games. But I think he's done okay. He's been steady this season. Obviously, I spoke to Rich at the start of the season when we did sign Jordan Ayew, and he said he'd do all right for us. He has, he were one of the fans' favourite at one point at Selhurst Park. But yeah, I like him. I wish we could have signed his dad in his prime. So, but no, Ayew's done okay. I think 6 goals in the games that he's played. I think he's done well. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with Ayew so far. But I think I see him more as a bench player rather than a more starting sort of player. But Edward, on the other hand, well,
do you want to go into that a little bit more?
90 grand a week for a guy who's barely featured at all this season. I think his last appearance, like I said to Rich yesterday, was Walsall away in the Carabao Cup, and that was a horrid night in Walsall for Leicester. The worst football I've seen in one of the games this season. And Odsonne Edouard, it's the case of he's on massive wages. He's just not in the team at all. He don't even feature on the bench, for God's sake. And you're paying big amounts of wages for a player that we want to send back to you, but you're like, yeah, but we don't want him either. So the only way we're going to have to sort this mess out is the case of Atalanta have got to come in with a big bid to Palace. Palace have got to accept it and then move him out that way. Until that point, I don't even know what hell's of a chance is going on regarding Odsonne Edouard. It's like he's gone missing this season. I've not even seen him, but when you do hear his name, Leicester fans are like, yeah, fantastic. Can't wait to send him back to Crystal Palace, this bloke. Do you know what I mean? We want to... So I guess it's been a mixed bag between Jordan Ayew, who the fans sing Jordan Ayew ole ole. I think they love Jordan Ayew, but then Edward on the other hand, it's just a real flip of the coin, and he's not favoured at Leicester at all by the fans, the club, and that. So I don't know. He's just picking up a wage basically, like Danny Ward is, and he's not doing anything.
And with Edward, I don't know if it's all true, but I've seen it going around on social media and flying around on Sky a little bit. Apparently, the whole deal for Edward's going to cost you guys like 8 million quid. Bearing in mind, we bought him for like 14, and we actually owned the player at the end of it. Is that true numbers? Because I'm not really sure about it on the Leicester side.
8 million quid. I don't think I'd pay 8p for him. I don't think I'd give him more than we've already gave him. Let's be honest. The thing is with Edward, it was good when he came into Crystal Palace. Obviously, we was linked with him this season. We signed Patson Daka. We ended up going for Daka rather than Edward. You signed Edward from Celtic. He started off very well at Selhurst Park. Then he got like some sort of injury, and it never worked out for him from that point. But yeah, it's just not the player, is he? Palace don't clearly see anything of him, and they want to get rid as quick as they can with him and hope they can push him onto someone else. And Yeah, I think with the Ed Ward situation, it was a panic loan signing. We were desperate for a striker at the time with Vardy injured, and Daka injured, and that Tom Cannon went to Stoke, and yeah, we fell for the trap. And we're paying what 90 grand of his wages. You're paying 30 grand of his wages. So 120 grand for a player that offers nothing to either club. It's beyond me. It's quite laughable, to be fair. But it's typical Leicester who keep handing out these wages to bang average players.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take Schlupp?
Do you know what? I don't know where
No,
Jeffrey
no.
Schlupp is these days. I don't know if he's still
Wait,
at you lot.
Do you want to have him
Pause, just in case. Pause, just in case.
You can have him back.
for free?
Oh, is he still at Crystal Palace? Is he Jeffrey Schlupp?
Yeah,
He's
you can have
supposed to be linked with a move to Blackburn, is he not?
Yeah,
Or
Blackburn, QPR, or the MLS.
Schlupp weren't that bad for Leicester.
You
I
can have
mean,
it back for free.
I remember his debut in the cup. We played Rotherham. I think he scored his first hat trick. I think he was 18 at the time, and he ended up winning the league with Leicester. And then you guys ended up paying a substantial amount of money for him. You guys would probably say we've been ripped off rather than an ideal sort of money we'd rather pay for him. But how do you lot think Schlupp did for you guys in his time there?
I would say in the beginning he was okay, but as time's gone on, I think he's been at too many buffets. You know, he's not quite. He just like these days he strolls around like he don't do nothing. Like he just strolls around looking disinterested.
He developed a bit of an ego as well, I think. The fact that he just flat out refused to play left back when he was a left back. He said, "Oh, I'm a midfielder now. Just never played at left back ever again."
And then he's played in so many other positions across the pitch.
Yeah.
He's played at central midfield,
that
left
is
wing.
true. He's played
Centre
up front.
back.
I'm sure he's played up front before as well.
Yeah, he has. He's played centre back for us a few times. He's played up front for us a few times. He's played all down the left side. He's played in central midfield, defensive midfield. I'm sure we played him in the 10 when Roy was there. Remember when we've had Hughes in the 10? And we thought, let's try Schlupp there instead.
We've also had a case that I think he's obviously scored goals in vital games at crucial points of our season late on, and that has just been the idea. Oh, Schlupp's got his usual one good goal of the season. He'll come out of nowhere, score a worldie, and then adds on a year to his contract for some reason.
Well, you know when he scored a worldie, we just drew them in the cup. So all I'm saying is Doncaster away, innit? We will be there.
Talking of the cup, by the way, the Crystal Palace women's team are in at half-time, 2-0 up against Sheffield United.
Decent.
Nice.
We're on course for a Carlsberg weekend. All Palace teams could be winning.
Don't say that. Absolute pagan.
Before the Leicester game, you muppet, don't try. I'm not Nathan,
You
I'm not
messed up.
jinxing this.
Move on.
Look at how stressed out Dan is.
Yeah, because I'm going tomorrow. I'm going.
This was the fixture Dan screwed up last time.
Yeah, I remember when he said, "Oh, they're not that good, are they?"
We drew 0-0, didn't we? That was one of the worst games of football I think I've ever seen.
That was awful. And bear in mind, all of us went, by the way. So Dan was the problem here. But Dan, now that they've, I guess, sort of transitioned a little bit more into the tactical part of this now that they've got this new manager, how do you think they play? How do you think they're going to play differently against us this time? So we've already played them once at Selhurst under Cooper. How do you think that's going to change under?
Well, I mean, Cooper was just pretty much like, low block, hit on the counter if you can, and inshallah, and try and get your players to score worldies. I think is try and get points. I would say Rude is definitely a lot more structured in terms of like his build up and that. I haven't watched a great deal, to be honest, so I could be slightly wrong here, but he seems to allow players to be a bit more creative than Cooper was. I'm a big fan of El Canus. I really liked him when he was at Genk. I kind of wish we signed him, but he looks like he's improving as well. And he's been given that sort of like that 10 free role by Rude to try and be creative with it and try and push them forwards. At the cost of that, obviously, maybe a bit more open at the back than under Cooper. But yeah, in a nutshell, that is a difference. Yeah.
All right, well, let's go into what we think our predicted 11 is going to be. I haven't tested it, so I'm probably going to get it wrong. So please bear with. Yeah, I got it wrong. Welcome back to Tactical, my people. Bars.
El Khan.
I can't write El Canus. It's too long. So it's El Khan. It's just Amir Khan if he was Spanish.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
I'm sorry. Anyway, here is what I've gone with for. I'm sorry, I just need to write something down real quick. Yeah. So here's what I've gone with. Also, we've got our players back, so let's go through the injuries. França injured. Dan, please apologize to França because I saw what happened.
I'm sorry. Disculpa.
What are you apologizing for?
Okay, look. Everyone thought he was injured, okay? And I thought he got a brand new injury, so I'm just kind of like, well, put him on the back burner a little bit, really.
You got to
But
back
he's
your
not.
boy.
So
I didn't mean to sin bin him.
That's nasty work.
wow.
Oh no!
I actually didn't mean to do the sin bin. I can't lie to you. Yes, injuries. França out. Wharton, he will be back in February sometime. Following what Glasner said in his press conference today. Will Hughes is back. Dean Henderson's back, and Rob Holding is still chilling with the youth. Them.
JC, just a quick question: do you think Trevor Chalobah plays?
Yeah.
Because the way Glasner was talking was as if like, Chelsea are causing a bit of a problem here, and I didn't like what I heard.
Chelsea are causing a problem, but I've got a feeling that they're causing a problem because there was massive issues last time we played them in the FA Cup with Gallagher. I reckon that they just put a thing in there saying, look, if we're still in the cup and you're in the cup, our lone players cannot play. That's what I reckon's happening. But with how he's saying, like, we're all passengers, but Chelsea are the pilots. There's not really much we can do. I reckon he'll play because he has played a few games in the Premier League for us actually in January. But my guess is that they're going to try and leverage Chalobah's loan to try and get Mark, which I don't think is going to work for them because, we're not going to give away one of our biggest assets for a loan player. It's not going to happen. But I just think Chelsea just being Chelsea, aren't they? Greedy. How greedy. Anyway, Leicester's injuries, or as said on preminjuries.com, Fatuo injured, Ndidi injured, Hermanson injured, Edward can't face us because he's shook. Vestergaard back, and Pereira is still injured. So I have gone with our team for Henderson, Mitchell, Gay, Lacroix, Chalobah, Munoz. Stand back line. I've gone with Hughes, Decore in the middle because I feel like that worked really well in the last game that it happened. They played, and also Hughes is back. He might have been ill, but he's probably good enough to play, and he's had quite a long rest. Eze, Sarr, Mateta up front for me. Yes, Eze played the full 90, but I feel like that was some good minutes under his belt to get a little bit of form back because he scored a really nice goal. Didn't actually play too badly when you look back on the game. Sarr always does a little bit better in the Premier League, and also we were missing Mateta big time against I can't remember who played now.
Stockport.
Stockport.
We missed him. If we had Mateta there, I think we score a few more goals. Unpopular opinion is what it is. But going over to Leicester, they do play sort of a 4-2-3-1 formation. I've gone with Stolasic. Is that right, Jack?
Stolasic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas, Vestergaard, Cody, and Justin, with Winks and Sumari in the middle. Mavadidi and Ayu out wide. El Khan in the 10, and Jamie Vardy up front. Dan, are you in agreement with this team?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I assumed would be the team as well, yeah.
Is there anything that you want to go through about how they attack or how they defend before I start rattling through the notes that I made?
No, not really. To be honest, I haven't really had time to look too much into it. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, compared to how they were under Cooper, a lot more obstruction in the build-up. Prefer to have the ball more than under Cooper, rather than relying on counter-attacks, trying to break teams down. It seems like I could be wrong here, but it seems like Justin seems to go further forwards than Thomas. And it seems like I thought that tended to overload the right-hand side a bit more than the left, with like Ayu and Justin. And also, it seemed like Winks kind of drifts over to that side as well. And Elkin given like a free roll to kind of drop in here and wherever he can.
So, yeah, basically, that's almost exactly what happens, really. So, Justin is the person that moves forwards, and they sort of have like a little bit of a transition in how they play. So, what you would see is the team looking a little bit more something like this, where you've got, I guess, 2 banks of 3, which is your defensive unit. And then because Justin's out here, he's able to help in the attack when you have the ball. But when they're defending, it's 2 banks of 3 here to make a 6 in the middle here. And then if they are in the attacking phase, Justin will push up. Ayu and Vardy will be up top together. El Canus has this whole space in the middle. And then they sort of have like an attacking 5, very similar to this. But more likely, it'll be a little bit more like this, where you have one guy to switch the play. Just putting it out there, this could be on either side. So Justin could be the one that pulls inside here, and on the other side it could be Thomas, depending on what happens. They like to link up the play, one non-touch passing here and there, put the ball over the top to run into, because Vardy and Mavadidi are very quick, and also you've got the utility of Ayu here to hold up the ball, win fouls, break up the play, and build up the ball from there. Really, without going into too much detail into how they attack, it's basically just good link-up play, trying to run into the spaces in behind. We play a high line, they're definitely going to be playing into that, trying to run in through the gaps. They do play a mid-block, so that is something that we could also exploit, because, he wants to play, Van Nistelrooy wants to play that forward-thinking style of football. So there is space in behind, so we could actually see us switch our formation around ever so slightly during this game, maybe to something a bit like this, to then open up the ability to have Saar being the one running in behind to their back line. But really, they don't press at all in our half. But if we have the ball in their half, they will be pressing very aggressively. That's a very quick, very big overview.
What do you think, Jack? Does that sound about right from what you see?
I tell you what, you've got the structure in that right, but the team, I'd say no.
So if it was a team, who would be in your team?
Stolasic will start because Matt Hermans is out for a few weeks. I think I'd go with the same team that played Queen's Park Rangers at the weekend, preferably. But Yannick Vestergaard will probably come in to partner Connor Cody. Justin will keep his place. I tell you what, I think he'll go with Christensen back in there, to be fair. And then we'll play Samori and Harry Winks is the midfield two, because Ndidi's nowhere to be seen at the minute regarding his injury. So we don't know what's happening there. Vardy will obviously start with Mavididi, El Canus, and I tell you what, is he? See, I'd stick with I'd go with Buonanotte over Ayew for this, because I think we really need to get at Palace and cause them problems. So I think Buonanotte would be the ideal situation for me. But then he's favoured Ayew over Buonanotte so many times since he's come in. So maybe Ayew would offer something different in this game with holding the ball up in that, so it creates a lot more space for the players to get in behind, like Justin and El Canus and players like that. But I think, to be fair, yeah, I'd go with Buonanotte myself. But then if he does go with Luke Thomas, I mean, Luke Thomas were outstanding against Aston Villa in the last time in the Premier League. So, yeah, Christensen's not really been my favourable fullback. But I think with Leicester, Root's come in and he's built a real good structure, a real good pattern of play. We're more observant when we've got the ball. But the only thing that lets Leicester down is we're making too many mistakes defensively. It's like we're not switched on enough. It's like teams don't even have to counter attack us for us to make a mistake. It's like they'll put little press on us and we'll concede like the most shambolic goal going, and you think, how have you conceded that? It's like schoolboy stuff, and it's schoolboy errors. And this is something we've now got to start cutting out. I think the game against QPR will give us that morale boost, which is much needed in the squad. I think, like Dan says regarding El Canus, he's been exceptional. The guy, if you play him on a regular basis, you've seen the best out of him, and we're really getting that. Him and Buonanotte, they click so well, and I think that's something we've got to sort of realise that this is working, and when he tries switching it around, it doesn't work as such. But if you can play Buonanotte and El Canus together, I think we're fantastic. I mean, Stefan Mavididi, he's got a lot of pace. I just think he needs to take his man on more times. And Jamie Vardy's just your man, in who's going to lay on the shoulder of the defender. You know, he's 38 years old and he's still banging in the goals, for God's sake. And you know what I mean? And people would think Jamie Vardy's done, you know what I mean, in the Premier League. And it proves time and time he isn't. But that midfield battle tomorrow night at the King Power is going to be interesting, because Samare's a big lad. He likes to get stuck in. And I've been really impressed with Boubakary Samare this season since he has come back into the squad. And, you know, and I think him and, is it Decore, is it? I think that'll be an interesting battle, to be fair, between them two. But we don't score from set pieces, so I don't think you're having to worry about our set piece situation. But then it's how good you lot are at defending set pieces is the main thing as well. But defensively, we've got to be strong against Palace, because we know what Mateta's going to do. You know, he always scores against us. You know, you can't rule him out. It's like when I said to Rich yesterday on my channel regarding Mateta, he scored in that relegation season when we got relegated in 22-23, and then this season I think he scored, was it 2 goals this season he scored past us? So he's one to keep an eye on. I like Saw. I think he did fantastic at Watford. But yeah, the midfield battle is going to be key. But it's about Leicester when they do get forward in attack. It's about being versatile in taking our chances as well. And if we can do that, I think we've got a real good chance of causing Palace problems tomorrow night. I think the confidence is going to be up in the squad.
100%. Nicky, armed with that information of that they struggle at the back a little bit if you put the press on, and maybe a little bit questionable defending set pieces, knowing that we're sort of, I guess we're good at set pieces now, is quite shocking to say
Definitely,
that. With all that information, how would you expect us to approach this game? Would we approach it thinking, you know, we're going to do what we need to do, hopefully get out there with a small scoreline, or do you think that Glasgow's going to say go for it and try and prove something to yourselves as well as the fans?
Considering the fact that we put out, obviously, needed to put out a rotated squad on Sunday against Stockport, and the scoreline was pretty disappointing from a Premier League versus League One team standpoint. I think this game will certainly be a game to show our strengths. We'll certainly put out a strong lineup. I think the lineup that you put on the board there, I think, is pretty spot on for what we're going to see tomorrow night. We do need, to crack on. Obviously, we got a point against Chelsea. win against Stockport, so I think a win would just keep up the morale. It would just keep us going, and yeah, this is. I think we could probably prey on some weaknesses as well. Like you said, set pieces. We are getting better at them. Will Hughes' corner delivery is getting great, and we've got the height of players who can head in goals as well. I think it's not going to be all one-sided, obviously, but I think we could see a few goals.
Mm-hmm. Rich, obviously, Jamie Vardy's 38 years old, as Jack told us, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's slow still. Granted, his pace isn't the main part of his game, but he's not slow still. How do you think Maxence Lacroix could deal with him in this game?
Better than Mark Gay did.
He better, because Mark and Henderson, you know, let's
£75 million, Rich, remember, Mark Guay, when Vardy was playing him, remember?
He's still that quality, to be fair.
He turned him look like, he made him look like a bang average centre half.
Now, to be fair, it was more Henderson's fault. He should have cleaned that right out. But we've all seen Maxence Lacroix's quality here, and most importantly, his pace.
He's very good.
I think it will be interesting because Vardy's good at adapting his game.
Yeah,
like he's crafty and wily. So if he can't get like beyond the defense through his pace, then it'll be his movement. You know, so I think as long as we're switched, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
Mm-hmm. Even knowing that he likes to get the swear words in the native language of the centre back, you think that Maxence Lacroix will keep his head? He won't get rattled.
Nah, you can see by his celebrations. A man of faith. He'll be all right.
What a little prayer group going on. However,
to the women's side, by the way.
Nice. However, though, I do think that if he said it to Munoz, I think that something would go down. And he's a part of that prayer group. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Munoz don't care.
And Munoz will kick him down. He got sent off in a World Cup semi-final for elbowing someone in the face.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Going back into the comments, the dog saying streets are saying JC used to be an amazing rapper. Yeah, just look about a year ago. There was a rap battle.
Go on to Eagle Eyed Extra. You can see his rap battle.
And on football, I think. Sup's goal versus Fulham earned him a 1-year goal extension. It might as well be a goal extension.
Yeah, it was. That must have been a contract clause. You score, yeah, you get a year.
Yeah, I think one thing that's interesting is we've got a few players now again at 30 years old, and normally when they're 30 years old, we don't offer them any more than a 1-year extension.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like some players deserve more than the 1 year. I would give Hughes like a 2-year, if I'm really honest.
Well, I think that's what the agreement is. I think it's verbal agreement with Hughes that came out. It got buried under a lot of other Palace news that Hughes has been offered a contract extension of 2 years to keep him at 2027. I know Devaney's just signed a
Yeah, that I'm very happy with that actually, because it's just I guess this is what, second pro deal now, so he's probably getting like a decent wage now, so he's gassed. The dog saying that's bare words. Apparently he was only there for the crystals.
First time at Sellers Park. You're right. I've been going for nearly God knows how long now. 15 years.
I mean, streets are saying that when the game was on, Nicky disappeared. Don't know whether it was for a pie or for the toilet, but when the crystals were on the pitch, he was definitely there. That's all I'm saying.
They're on the other side of they were on the other side.
I
was getting drinks.
You have glasses for a reason.
I tried to call him 3 times and his phone was.
No, you tried to call me before the game. Don't get the timeline correct.
He was just zooming in on the cheerleaders. That's what he was doing.
Well, all I'm saying is that Rich, we spoke to each other. We said, look, where's Nicky gone? There's still 5 minutes left of the half. Gone. Not even there. Cheerleaders came out. My guy was there, standing. Everything.
no,
You couldn't.
because-
You weren't
Yeah.
even. We weren't even in the same stand.
He ran down the stairs. I saw him running down the stairs.
Yeah. Shirt off. Everything.
The allegations. Wow. The allegations. Dear me.
UK Pat saying, Jack, could you please have "Are you back?" A capital please. Dog saying JC got it wrong. He just knew that was going to happen. Should have just bought Chalobah outright in the summer. Enough doing business with Chelsea. Should have put a clause in Eddie's loan paper. He had to play 90 minutes against us.
Backwards loan.
Leicester 4 points from the last 30, 5 defeats in 6, 14 points for Palace in the last 30. Big up Damo, big up Animal. Question for you, Jack. Will Vardy retire in a year or two, or do you think he'll keep going?
Well, the guy said he can still go till he's 40. You know, he said when the legs pack in, he said that's when he gives up. But he said right now he feels as good as ever, and he carries on going. I mean, last season we were chanting to him, 10 more years, Jamie Vardy. And they said to him last season, they said, "Do you fancy 10 more years?" He said, "Yeah, I think I could give it another crack." And yeah, the guy just don't seem like he's giving up anytime soon, does he? You know, he's still proving people wrong. He's still the shithouse he always has been. I mean, you know, the fans seem to give it him, the opposition fans, about his wife and this, that, and the other, and they always make them different chants about him and that. But he takes it on the chin and then he gives it back, and then fans start trolling to social media and then start crying about it. Oh, Jamie Vardy did this. Well, yeah, but if you're going to give it to him, he's going to get it back. But like Vardy said, it's all banter at the end of the day. He'll laugh about it, and he said that's football, but he said he always seems to want to score against these teams who he's got a good record against. I think Palace is good. He's got a good record against as well. So he'll be eyeing you up tomorrow night for sure. And if he can get the service, I think he'll get one.
Oh, he did that bloody Eagle celebration against us in front of Holmesdale, didn't he?
Yeah. I appreciate a shit house.
We were in for Samari a few years ago. I think we were in for him or Decore. I think it was that window. Our defense is much better this time. Now I know why Nicky's glasses steam up when the crystals are on the pitch.
I'm gonna be in the doghouse after this because I know
With who? With who?
I'm gonna get. Someone's gonna message me after this and be like, "So your team has cheerleaders now? Great.
You got Gal.
He's got Gal.
Sorry. It's the fact that JC was frozen just then.
We'll get to that one. Great to see you back on the streams, Nikki. So getting some praise. Up the Rams, Jack.
Yeah, get fucked basically.
Nikki is such a simp, man. The dog saying, "JC, was that you taking a pen at half time?" Yes, and I scored. Have that. Weesh, man.
Nikki, I think everyone will feel a lot better if you put your red light on.
I'll take a wow.
Nicky Crystals. Nicky Crystals. Oh, that's quality.
Oh no! Wait.
You can't even spell.
Don't know who that is, mate. Nikki is a player. Come on, Nikki gets girls. Yeah. Score predictions. Jack, we'll start with you. What would your score prediction be for this game, mate?
Can I just reply to that comment first?
Yeah. Cool. Put it back up.
Yeah, we might be in the relegation zone, but look where Derby are in the Championship. That's all I've got to
Just
say
so
on
you
the
know,
matter. I'm
the
not being
dog
funny.
is
You lot could have a chance of going down this season as well, innit? So, I think you need to worry about your own team, to be fair. But all banter aside, mate, I'm happy enough to have banter with you. So I don't take it personal. I mean,
you
it's
don't,
all
because
good, man. I've got
the
I've
dog
got
is
Derby.
actually a Palace fan, by the way.
Oh, is it a Palace fan?
He's a wind
He's
up.
trolling.
he's a
He's trolling you,
Oh,
Jack.
he's a resident troll.
oh
He's
dear,
hilarious.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
hilarious.
Jesus. You should have said that
Jack was
before.
gonna come off.
Hey, you should have let him. You should have let him.
I'm hungry. That's why I need to wrap up. I'm hungry.
All right, Jack, what's your score prediction?
I tell you what, I'm gonna go. We need points out of this game. So being at home and that, we've got to get the win. We've got two big games now, Palace and then Fulham at the weekend. So I think we've got to go 3 points in this one. So I'm gonna go Leicester 2, Palace 1.
Cool. Rich,
2-0 Palace.
Dan,
I was going to say that. I'll go 2-1.
Nicky.
2-1.
I'm not going to be afraid. I was going to say 2-0 anyway, so I'm not scared because Rich said it first.
Yeah, Dan, you're a melt. You're scared.
Yeah.
Me?
Shook of the dreads.
I
Jack.
just want to be different.
Okay. Well, Nicky copied you anyway, so you're not different.
Yeah, I know.
Jack, as always, thank you very, very much for jumping on with us and chatting nonsense
Appreciate
with us
it.
for up to
Yeah, thanks,
nearly
mate.
an hour now. So please shout out yourself. Where can people find you? Where should they subscribe to you if they want to hear more about Leicester City and Derby County?
Well, I wouldn't say Derby County. That's offensive. That I'm not coming on again. No, you can find me at the Final Whistle. We do everything Leicester City. So, yeah, come and find us there. If you're a neutral and just want to watch football stuff, content, then yeah, it's the place to be. We do match day vlogs, match previews, match reviews, and all that on the Final Whistle. So come and check it out. We'll have a match day vlog out for the Palace game after tomorrow's game. So yeah, come and check us out at the Final Whistle, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, thanks for having us on. And big up to everyone in the chat, Dog, Animal, and everyone else.
But guys, thank you very, very much for watching. From all of us. Oh, what's happening here? Rich, you want to read that one out?
Oh, he proper scrolled up for that comment. He full on scrolled all the way back up for that comment.
Apparently, I nearly broke UK
Terrible.
hand.
Guys, thanks for watching. And as always, guys, up the Palace.
Eagles.
Oh, Jamie Vardy, your wife is a grass. An elite outro. Oh wait, we're still live.